She said she cared. But now, she's cold, distant, ignoring you. And your mind's spinning. What did you do wrong? But what if I told you? She's not pulling away because she's over you. She's pulling away to see who you really are. You're sitting there, alone. Her last message? 2 days ago. Nothing since. You keep replaying that last moment together. The way she smiled a little longer, leaned in a little closer. You felt it. You knew she cared. So why the silence now? Your mind is racing. Maybe she's losing interest. But your gut? It's saying something deeper is going on. What if I told you? Her silence isn't rejection. It's a test. What if this distance isn't a punishment, but actually a signal? And what you do right now could either break her attraction completely or make it unshakable. Drop a comment below saying, I rise, not chase. Let that be your mindset for this journey. This video is for any guy who's ever asked, why is she ignoring me if she said she cared? You're about to find out why women sometimes pull away even when they love you. And more importantly, what to do about it. Not to manipulate, but to step into your power with presence, confidence, and self-mastery. If this message hits home, support the channel. Not for me, but for the next man sitting in that same silence, wondering if she still loves him or not. Number 1. Her silence is a test, not a rejection. While you're stuck wondering why she hasn't replied, checking your phone, overthinking every word you said, replaying moments like a movie on loop, she's quiet, yeah, but she feels you. You think she's gone cold. You assume she's losing interest. But here's what you don't see. Her silence. It's not nothing. It's actually louder than anything she could say. A woman doesn't just disconnect for no reason. She's tuned in. She picks up on your vibe, your energy, the shift in your confidence, your rising insecurity, the neediness creeping in, even between the lines of your messages. She feels it. And when that energy shifts, when she senses you're starting to rely on her validation to feel okay, she pulls back. Not to hurt you, not to play games, but instinctively. It's how attraction works. This is where most guys slip. They panic, they chase, they double text, call more, post stories hoping she'll notice. They act from fear. But here's the truth. Every time you move from fear, you prove her right to pull away. You show her that what she saw in you might have just been potential, not presence. She's not ignoring you because she hates you. She's watching. She's asking herself, is he really that grounded guy I thought he was? Or was it all just for show? And this moment right here, this silence, it's not just silence. It's the battlefield of attraction. And the guy who wins that battlefield, it's not the one fighting for her attention. It's the one who doesn't need it. She feels it when you're solid. She feels it when you're calm. She feels it when you're not trying to win her back, because you're not afraid to lose her. Attraction isn't built in comfort. It's built in the unknown, in tension, in the test. So what do you do when she pulls away? You stop chasing. You stop asking why. You stop obsessing. And instead, you rise. You hit the gym. You lock in your schedule. You double down on your mission. You grow. You move. You build. Because women aren't drawn to your texts. They're drawn to your pull, your gravity. The quieter you get, the louder your energy speaks. When she pulls back, hold your ground. When she doesn't respond, don't chase validation. Validate yourself. Because the moment she sees that her presence doesn't shake your peace, she'll feel something she didn't expect. Curiosity. Nature's funny like that. What runs becomes desirable. What clings becomes repelling. Every time you show her you can stand still while she pulls away, you become that guy, the one with purpose, with peace, with self-respect. So how do you pass this test? Start with your presence. Kill the urge to text, replace it with action. Let her absence feel like silence, not a loss. Show her, not through your messages, but through your movement, that you're not the type to chase. You're the type who attracts, who pivots instead of panics, who builds instead of begs. Because while she's trying to feel you in your silence, what she's really hoping for is proof. Proof that you're solid, unshakable, not just on the outside, but at your core. Speak less. Move with intention. Let your absence echo louder than any words could. You're not losing her. You're being watched. Now ask yourself, are you the man who needs her response to feel worthy? Or are you the man who becomes so powerful in the silence that she starts to wonder what she just lost by pulling away? Number 2, she's not testing your love. She's testing your strength. You have to be the wall, not the wind. While she's pulling away, watching from a distance in silence, what she's really doing is this. She's not judging your words, not even your effort. She's measuring your gravity, your stability, your presence. The moment she senses you slipping into reaction mode, texting more, chasing harder, panicking inside, you start unraveling the very attraction she was once drawn to. If she hits you with a one-word reply, and you start over-texting just to get something back, you lose. If she pulls away and you flood her with, "Are you okay?" and "I just want to understand," you lose. If she starts testing your boundaries and you fold just to stay liked, again, you lose. Not because she wants to break you, but because she wants to see you. See what you're really made of when she steps back. A man who needs constant reassurance to feel good about himself? That's not the guy she can relax around. That's not the guy she can trust with her heart. She needs to know, if the storm hits, will your feet still be on the ground? When her emotions spiral, will you stay solid, or will you spiral with her? When she tests you, will you flinch or stand tall? Being the wall doesn't mean being cold. It means being composed. Not a robot, but rooted. Not emotionally dead, but emotionally unshakable. Women feel a lot, and they feel fast. Not because they're weak, but because they're wired for deep emotion. But here's the deal. No woman is going to surrender to a man who crumbles the moment she changes moods. When she says, "I need space," she's not asking for a paragraph. She's watching for your reaction. Do you beg? Or do you breathe and get back to your mission? When she gets distant, do you start over-proving yourself? Or do you stay grounded, present, anchored in who you are? Being the wall means this. You don't ignore her. You just don't let her emotions control you. That's the core. When her emotional ocean crashes into your peace, do you drown? Or do you hold the shoreline? Emotional self-control is power. The ability to pause instead of panic, to breathe instead of beg, to observe instead of overreact. That's the difference between boys and men. And that's the safety she's looking for. Not comfort safe, not nice guy safe, but soul safe. The kind of safety that makes her want to let go, not take over. So what do? You stop asking her to regulate your feelings. You stop making her the center of your emotional world. You stop trading your power just to keep her close. Instead, you build your purpose so strong, her silence becomes background noise. You create a life so fulfilling, her moods can't throw you off track. You train your mind so well, you don't react, you respond. She doesn't want you to be indifferent. She wants you to be inevitable. She wants your silence to feel like thunder, not retreat. She wants your presence to speak louder than your pleas ever could. And if you become that man, the one who doesn't shake, the one who doesn't flinch, then no matter how wild her storm gets, she'll come back. Every time. Not because you chased her, not because you convinced her, but because you proved, without a single word, that no storm can move you. And in a world full of emotional chaos and uncertain ground, that kind of presence is rare, unforgettable, and irresistible. So ask yourself this: are you reacting every time she shifts? Or are you anchoring yourself so deeply that her tests don't trigger fear, but reveal your strength? Be the wall. She's not trying to shake you. She's trying to see if you can't be shaken. Number 3, don't react to her chaos. Become the calm she can trust. Her emotions come in waves, sometimes unexpected, sometimes overwhelming, sometimes loud, raw, and messy. But your job, it's not to become another storm. Your job is to be the anchor, not to control her, not to fix her, but to hold space for her emotions without flinching. Her chaos doesn't need correction. It needs containment through presence, real presence, the kind that doesn't panic, doesn't run, doesn't need to be right. The kind that says, I see you, and I'm not going anywhere. You want her to respect you? Then stop reacting to every emotional storm like it's about you. Stop trying to fix her every time she's upset. Stop seeing her intensity as a threat. Because the moment she senses that her feelings can rattle you, she stops trusting your emotional center. Not because she doesn't care, but because she doesn't feel safe in your energy anymore. She's not looking for you to solve her chaos. She's looking to feel something stronger than her chaos. And it's not your logic that'll do that. It's not your smooth words. It's your stillness, your unshakable calm. Most people think strength is being louder, more dominant, more aggressive. It's not. Real strength is restraint. It's knowing when to shut up, when not to send the text, when to hold your line instead of proving your point. When she's spiraling, the weak man jumps in trying to fix her, calm her, convince her. The strong man stays present, not to fix, but to witness, not to control, but to contain, because he knows her chaos isn't about him. It's her own emotional process, and she's watching to see, can you hold me without losing yourself? Her chaos is a test. Her silence is a test. Even her attitude, that's a test too. Not because she's playing games, but because she's asking, if I fall apart, will you fall with me? Or will you be the one thing I can lean on when nothing else makes sense? Your calm isn't just for you. It becomes her ground. And when that ground starts to shake, she questions everything. So how do you stay calm? You discipline your reactions. You practice emotional patience. You stop needing control and start offering clarity. You stop trying to prove your worth and start embodying it. She's not asking for perfection. She's asking for presence. She's not looking for answers. She's craving a kind of energy that doesn't shift with hers, that doesn't panic, that doesn't chase, that doesn't fall apart just because she's having a rough day. You want to be rare? Then act rare. When she distances, don't chase. When she resists, don't demand. When she explodes, don't escalate. Instead, observe, breathe, redirect. Take that energy and reinvest it into your growth, your body, your mission, your mind, your circle, your purpose. Because the more you lead with peace, the more she feels your power. Not just her, you feel it too. The power of being the calm in someone else's storm. Not by controlling her, but by mastering you. Ask yourself honestly, do you spiral when she does? Do you speak just to fix her feelings? Do you make her emotions about you? Or are you the one man she can't shake? Because no matter how wild her storm gets, you remain calm, centered, unmoved. Her chaos isn't your enemy. It's your invitation to rise. Number 4, let her go without closing the door. She's pulling away, texting less, feeling colder. You feel it, that gut punch, that silence that hits harder than any fight, and everything inside you wants to chase, to fix it, to do something. But here's the hard truth. The moment you run after her in desperation, you confirm what she was quietly hoping not to see, that your confidence was only real when she was giving you attention, that your strength was a mask, held together by her presence. And when that mask slips, when she sees that the man she admired can't stand tall on his own, something shifts. She no longer sees a man. She sees dependence. You were never supposed to trap her. You were supposed to be the kind of man strong enough to let her go and still hold space for her to come back if she chooses. A woman doesn't need a man who clings. She needs a man who can choose her without needing her. So when she says, "I need space," you give it. When she pulls away, you don't follow. Not as a tactic, but as a truth. The truth that your life doesn't stop when someone leaves. The truth that your identity isn't tied to someone else's confusion. The truth that your value doesn't drop because her energy changed. You want to be unforgettable? Then become irreplaceable in your absence. While other guys flood her phone, send her playlists and poems, try to win her back with pressure and panic, you do the opposite. You rise, you sharpen yourself, you get stronger, you go deeper into your mission, and your silence becomes a statement. I don't chase love. I attract it. I never beg for it. Let her walk, not because you don't care, but because you care enough about yourself not to lose your peace chasing someone else's clarity. Let her walk, because in the space you leave, that's when her mind starts to wander back. She'll remember how you didn't fold, how you didn't flinch, how you didn't lower your value to keep her close. And that memory will haunt her in all the right ways. That's when she starts to ask, did I leave a man or a moment? You don't need to slam the door. You just need to stop trying to hold her inside it. Leave it open, but let her walk. Because if what you had was real, she'll feel it again. She'll test it. She might even run from it, but she won't forget it. What will bring her back is not your begging, your gifts, or your effort. It's your absence with dignity. That's the gravity of the man who builds. That's the energy of the man who doesn't chase. That's the peace of a man who can let her go, not to punish her, but to protect himself. So ask yourself this: are you living in a way that she would regret walking away from? Are you growing while she's gone, or grieving what you can't control? Are you building a life so strong, so full, so powerful, that even if she never comes back, you've still won? You don't lose the woman by letting her go. You lose her when your need for her overshadows the man you were born to become. So let her walk. And while she's walking, build the life that will either bring her back stronger or prepare you for the one who never needs to leave to see your worth. Number 5, don't break when she pulls away. Stand tall and watch her return. She starts to pull away. She replies slower. She's not as warm. There's distance now, and you feel it. The average man, he panics, he chases, he overcompensates. He tries to prove his worth all over again because he thinks her pulling away is a call to action. But it's not. It's a call to pause, to stand still, to stay grounded when everything inside you wants to react. Because when she runs, she's not testing how fast you'll chase. She's watching to see if you stay solid. Most guys break at this moment. Their minds spiral. They start flooding her with messages. They can't sit in silence, so they fill the space with fear. They hustle for her attention like effort equals value. But here's the truth. She's not looking for performance. She's looking for presence. And presence is only felt in stillness, not in panic. When she runs, you are being watched, not just by her eyes, but by her intuition. She's watching how you carry yourself. Do you stay calm, or do you chase her shadow? Because the moment your energy shifts just because she pulled away, you're no longer leading. You're following her emotions, and that kills attraction faster than any mistake. What she wants, whether she knows it or not, is to feel a man who's rooted in something bigger than her approval. The man who stands still when she runs, that man doesn't trigger fear. He triggers curiosity. She starts to wonder, why didn't he chase me? Why didn't he panic? What's going on in his world that makes him so calm? And that curiosity is the seed of renewed attraction. Because here's what she feels at a deeper level. If your peace collapses the moment she pulls away, you were never peaceful. You were just addicted to her attention. But stillness? Stillness takes self-trust. It takes a deeper sense of purpose. It means you don't play emotional ping pong. You don't follow her moods. You lead with presence. You remain centered, consistent, unbothered, not because you don't care, but because you care more about who you're becoming. That kind of energy, magnetic. So how do you master stillness? You get disciplined. You build daily structure. You put yourself in discomfort, on purpose. You stop reacting and start operating from mission. Every time you feel the urge to send a text just to feel close, you redirect. You hit the gym. You read. You work. You grow. Because the version of you that needs constant validation, that's not the version that leads. You must become the man who walks through silence without fear, who sits in uncertainty without breaking, who doesn't wait passively, but waits powerfully. Stillness is not weakness. It's a signal. It's leadership. She's not testing your love. She's testing your emotional leadership. Can you stay composed when she spirals? Can you hold space when she panics? Can you remain still when her world feels chaotic? That's what her soul is screaming to find. And if you flinch, you fail. If you break, she questions everything. So what do? You stand still. Let her run. Let her retreat. But you keep walking, forward, not toward her, toward your mission. Because if she's meant for you, she won't come back to the man who chased. She'll come back to the man who never stopped evolving. So ask yourself, who are you when no one's watching? Who are you when the woman you care about pulls away? Do you collapse? Or do you rise even higher? Stand still, not with arrogance, but with assurance. Not in silence, but with strength. Let her run, and when she looks back, let her see a man unmoved, unbothered, unshakable. Number 6. While she waits for you to break, you become unshakable. She pulls away. She goes quiet. She becomes hot and cold. She creates emotional space. And while it looks like confusion on the surface, what she's really doing is testing your center. She's watching to see if your identity is solid, or if it crumbles when she leaves the room. And most men, they fail right here. They try to negotiate desire. They beg with explanations. They chase with emotion, thinking that proving themselves will earn back her interest. But she doesn't feel desire through comfort. She feels it through contrast, through tension, through seeing you stand tall when she shifts. She doesn't want more effort. She wants to feel the undeniable energy of a man who doesn't flinch. If you want to be the guy who lives in her head, long after you're gone, stop trying to manage her perception of you. Start managing your standard. Because the second you chase when she pulls back, you already told her the truth. Your value depends on her validation. And once she feels that imbalance, once she sees that your self-worth disappears without her attention, she's out. Not because she doesn't like you, but because you just became replaceable. A woman doesn't stay because you say the right things. She stays because you radiate a power she can't ignore. because your silence carries more weight than your words ever could. When she pulls away and you ask why, instead of rising, you become forgettable. But when you let her go without a word, when you elevate while she withdraws, when you lead yourself instead of following her moods, that's when you become unforgettable. Not because of what you say, but because of what she feels. Because she knows most men collapse when a woman becomes distant. But you're not most men. You're in a category of your own. She can't shake you because you've already made peace with being alone. You're married to your mission. Your life is so full, so rich, so alive, that any woman who enters it feels lucky, not entitled. That's the separation. The man she can shake is the one who crumbles when she leaves. But the man she can't shake, that's the man who becomes more dangerous, more focused, more magnetic in her absence. And she'll feel it. When she checks your stories and sees silence. When she wonders, why isn't he chasing? When her phone stays dry and your energy stays unmoved, that's when it shifts. That's when her emotional tests turn into emotional confusion. Because you broke the cycle. You didn't fold. You didn't chase. You didn't need her more than you needed your path. And when you show her, without a word, that you're built different, she'll feel it in her chest. She'll feel it in the quiet. She'll feel it in the way you didn't need her energy to stand in your own. That's when you go from one of many to the one she can't stop thinking about. Not because you tried harder, but because you became more. So how do you become that man? You sharpen your body. You train your mind. You cut every excuse holding you back. You use silence as fuel. You let rejection become your refinement. You take every second you used to spend texting her and invest it into your rise. You don't talk about your value. You become undeniable. You build a life that makes her realize you're no longer chasing her attention. You're choosing your evolution. And once you do that, you flip the script. She starts questioning herself. She starts missing your stillness. Her curiosity becomes obsession. And by that point, you won't need her to choose you anymore, because you already chose the strongest version of you. The man shaped not by attention, but forged in solitude. And nothing hits harder than the man who needed no one to become everything.